Hey everyone, TGIF. Hope you're all having a good Friday and that you're looking at the clock and have some good plans to look forward to as you head into your weekend. I just wanted to check in with you real quick. I know I haven't been on a Facebook Live since I think 2 weeks ago, and I decided that that was because I shouldn't go on live until I actually have something to say beyond, hey, I did it. I was super afraid, but I did it anyway. And I wanted to talk to you before you head into your weekend about this week's blog. I talked about the Sunday blues. You know, that like sneaky, creepy feeling that kind of sneaks up on you on a Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, sometimes between 4 and 7, I think, for some folks. But I wanted to talk to you about it because I think people think that they're just inevitable, that there's nothing you can do, that at some point over the weekend you're going to have the thought that you have to go back to work tomorrow. And then suddenly the weekend kind of ends right there because you get nervous and worried and anxious, and you start to think about the times that you had over the weekend, the relaxed things that you did, the time with family or friends, or just the time to just kick back and relax, and you just suddenly start dreading your Monday. I don't think that you have to dread your Monday, and I don't think it's because you have to go into some awesome job on Monday. I think it's about changing the story you're telling yourself on Sunday, because I think sometimes when we're sort of getting anxious or worried, we tell ourselves all kinds of stories and we start to think to the week ahead about how awful everything's going to be, how stressed out everybody's going to be, especially as we go into a holiday week. I know people are really worried about the short work week and things that they have to get done, but they're not motivated to do anything because the holiday's coming and they just want to get to work. And I feel you, I get it. But here's the thing, that Sunday blues feeling, you're kind of creating a habit around it. And the reason why I know this is because a lifetime ago, probably more than maybe around 10 years or so ago, before I started my own business, I was building my own Sunday habit. I was dating my husband at the time, and we'd be having these great weekends. We'd be going on road trip adventures and discovering all kinds of things. And suddenly at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, my eyes would start to fill with tears. And I would start to think about the week ahead. I would start to think about how I wasn't going to have as much time with him as I had over the weekend, how our schedules were really different during the week. And I would just start to get sad, and he would kind of show up and rally around me and have my back and really support me. And we'd get through it, but I'd kind of go to bed crying every Sunday night until the following Sunday when it was time to do it all over again. And I think it's because one of the things we don't pay attention to is how we create habits for ourselves. The first couple of times, sure, I got nervous, I got stressed out, I started thinking about my job and how many responsibilities I had. But then over time, at some point, it's just the thing I did last week, so it becomes the automatic thing I do this week. I start at 4 o'clock automatically thinking about how hard my job was going to be, rather than just recognizing that my job didn't start until Monday morning at 7 a.m., and it wasn't Monday morning at 7 a.m. yet. And there were plenty of things I could still do to enjoy my weekend, to have a nice time, to be present for the moment that was in front of me, rather than dreading what was happening tomorrow. And I think so many times when people think about their Sunday blues, it's because they're trapped. They tell themselves that they're in a job that they can't get out of, that they're managing things that they can't possibly change, and they see themselves as having no control. As soon as you have that thought, all's you're doing. Sorry about that. I think I got a phone call in the middle of my Facebook Live. I have to learn how to shut that off next time. If anybody knows that, tell me in the comments. In any case, sorry I went away from you for a second there. So here's the thing, is that if you think you're trapped and you tell yourself a story that you have no control over your current situation, then you're done. The story's written and you've had the final chapter. But if you just decide for a second that maybe there are things in your story that you can control, that there are things you can do to change the way you feel about going into a Monday morning, suddenly you're in problem solving mode. And you can look at the things that you don't like, that aren't working for you, that you do have control over, and how you want to change them and how you want to move through the world. And I don't think that's an easy process. I don't think anybody's talking about how to do it. And that's why I wrote the article this weekend, because I want you to think about how you can take back your life, because the only thing we can control in our lives is how we respond to the things that are handed to us. And as soon as we tell ourselves we have no control, we're limiting our own beliefs and our own ability to change the story. And it's just nonsense. It's garbage. It's stories we're telling ourselves to keep us small rather than kind of rising above, showing up, being present, and deciding the life we want to have and figuring out what we need to do next. So I wrote about it. I offered some tips. There's a freebie in there too if you need some specific strategies for how to calm down your angst if just kind of arguing back to it doesn't work. But read the article, check it out, ask questions in the comments. I'd be happy to get back to you. And I hope you enjoy your Friday. I am off to get a hair makeover. So the next time you see me, hopefully my hair will be looking a little bit better than it does right now. I hope you guys have a good weekend. TGIF, and I'll talk to you soon.